Hey guys, Dan with Carli Suspension here. Today I'm going to show you how to swap out the Curry Johnny joint for the FK bearing rod end we're sending as a fix for this joint. So first thing that you're going to want to do is, assuming this bar was installed correctly, it's going to have red Loctite on this jam nut right here. You're going to want to take some time with a good torch, heat it up, melt that Loctite so that you can break that jam nut free and spin this rod end out. For demonstration purposes, this one actually does not have any Loctite on it, so I'm not going to burn it up. But break that jam nut loose. So obviously you have the other end in a vise of some sort. We've trapped it by the misalignment spacers there, so the bar is going to have some rotation before it actually engages. But once you get it there, break that jam nut loose, just like that. If this is coming off an early 3rd gen truck, tap out the reducer sleeve that you use to reduce this 16mm inside down to a 14mm bolt. Set that aside later as you're going to reuse it. Next step, spin out the rod end. And set it aside. Next, you're going to open up the box that you received from us with what we consider to be a comprehensive fix for this problem. When you open it, you're going to find a set of instructions. You don't really need those as you've already removed the bar. You can reference them for torque specs when you're putting the bar back in. Beyond that, not a whole lot in there to really help you beyond what I'm going to tell you in this video. Little box to return that Johnny joint to us. Go ahead and set that aside. A set of misalignment spacers for the new Heim joint, and then you've got your Heim joint right here. So this hardware kit is for the DPRB-03. This is a set of silver 16mm misalignment spacers to work with that rod end in a 3rd and 4th gen application. If you have a DPRB-14, you're going to get this hardware kit that's got an actual jam nut in it and 2 18mm misalignment spacers. On the DPRB-03, what you're going to do is you're going to reuse the standard jam nut that you were provided with your Johnny joint along with that reducer sleeve if applicable. But on the 2014, you're going to have a machined, more round jam nut that you're going to send back to us with that Johnny joint, and you're going to use the provided jam nut that we provided for you. Go ahead and set that aside. Pull out your FK bearing. And spin your jam nut all the way on. Go ahead and install that in the end of the bar. Grab me a tape measure, Hauser. Now that we've installed this in the end of the bar, what we're going to do is confirm that it is at the proper length for a leveled application, which is what this bar is going to go for. It needs to be at 39 1/8 center to center. So we're going to confirm that. Perfect. So here the jam nut is actually still bottomed out against the rod end. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of red Loctite on the exposed threads before spinning the jam nut back and torquing it down. So and spin the jam nut against the end of the bar. Now this is the very, very important part. You want to make sure that both ends are parallel. So clock the bar back and then ensure that that end lines up with this end and they're both perfectly parallel. You actually want to have this rod end a little bit more counterclockwise because as you tighten it, it's going to move this rod end. So pull it back just a little bit there. Grab your big wrench, tighten her up and take the slack out. And send it home. Confirm that both ends stayed parallel to each other, which these ones stayed perfect. What you're going to do from there, as it's now Loctited, curing up, and almost ready to install back on the truck, take your 2 silver misalignment spacers. If it's a 16mm bolt that you've got, you'll know because it takes a 21mm socket to remove it when you're pulling out of the truck. Install those. If it's a 14 mil, which you'll know if it's an 18mm socket to pull it out of the truck, remember to put your reducer sleeve back in. Put that whole assembly together like that. Now you're ready to put this thing back in the truck. Again, the same principles all apply. If this is on a DPRB-14, but you're going to use the 18mm black misalignment spacers, and there's no reducer sleeves for the 2014 plus trucks. So that's your comprehensive video on how to update this to the FK bearing that we are now using in these track bars. Installation, it all goes back together exactly as you pulled it apart. Make sure to refer to the installation guide for torque specifications when you're putting it back in the truck. Alright, one final note here. With the removed Johnny joint, we do need these back from you. So you'll note that in the box that we sent you, we gave you a little box that fits this Johnny joint perfectly. You got a plastic wrapper, you got a thread guard, you got everything that you need to package this thing up nice if you see fit. Put that little guy back on there. Put it back in the plastic bag. You kind of got to wrestle it because it's a nice tight fit. And then assemble a little box. Toss the Johnny joint in there. Wrap it up with some packing tape. This is a heavy joint and it's a small box that we give you, so wrap it up so it's nice and secure with that packing tape. We also give you a return label. You'll see this one's already affixed to the box. Yours will be separate. Just make sure that barcode is nice and legible there. Place it on the box once it's all taped up and ready to go. Drop it off with UPS so we get these things back, and then you are done. Consider your truck fixed. Thanks for watching.